Namaste, angels. This would be our weekly general reading for the week beginning today. It's 2:13 in the morning, so the day's already started. Sunday, November 26th through Saturday, December 2nd. Jeez. So again, I say the year is almost over. To all of you who celebrated the holiday, I hope you had a very healthy and happy. I am just coming off of celebration. Said goodnight to my sister who was visiting from out of town. My sister, my brother-in-law, my niece. Probably, I don't know the last time she was here. It's quite possible that the last time she was here was when she was here to be the maid of honor in my wedding. That was 1995. Not that I haven't seen my sister since. I go down south a lot. I'm talking about the last time she came to New York. And we are whole sisters, same mother and father. But she was just raised in South Carolina and I was raised in New York for the most part. Or we were both raised in both, you could say. In any case, they all came, so that was really, really special. Yeah, and I had a great holiday. Hope you guys did too. So I'm going to go into what we got going on this week. From the Jewish calendar, the Hebrew calendar, there is nothing. I probably won't mention anything until I go over the 19th of Kislev, which is again the day that the Hasidic tradition began. On the Christian calendar, today, the 26th of November, is the feast day of Christ the King. And on Thursday, there's nothing Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Friday or Saturday for that matter. But on Thursday is the feast day of one of my most favorite saints, Saint Andrew the Apostle, Peter's brother. Andrew the Apostle is one of my favorites, many of you know, because even in death, he, did it his way, like by his own terms. He was a martyr. And when he was being put to death, they were going to crucify him, not unlike what went on with Jesus. And he said, nope, I am not worthy to die like Jesus. Put me on an X. And he's who came through, he still comes through, but came through right away when I first started using my Doreen Virtue Romance Angel cards. Release your X. Now, people who are not intuitive that would read those cards, they're going to say, oh, it means your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever. That's not what it meant for me at all. It was connected to St. Andrew. It was like releasing yourself onto the world. And yeah, living by your terms, putting it out there, who you are and why and how, and that there's nothing anybody else can do about it. Like, you're going to do it your way. You're going to follow your heart. You're going to follow your, own wisdom, your own intuition, all of that kind of stuff, and do it your way, like Frank Sinatra said. I've mentioned Malcolm X too. When I would say that, I'd say like St. Andrew, like Malcolm. You can even call him by the name that with which he had been born. He was like, I'm choosing this other name, by which to be called. And until I decide that I want to be called that name regularly, you know what? I just want to go by this letter, like how you mark your name with an X, that type of thing. So yeah, to me that is the epitome of living by one's own terms. And so this is why this is one of my favorite saints. So I will tell you a little bit more about St. Andrew from the perspective of Catholic.org after we go over the feast day of Christ the King briefly from Wikipedia.org. The solemnity of our Lord Jesus Christ, King of the universe, commonly referred to as the feast of Christ the King, is a relatively recently added addition to the Western liturgical calendar, having been instituted in 1925 by Pope Pius XI for the Roman Catholic Church. In 1970, its Roman Catholic observance was moved to the final Sunday of ordinary time. So what that means is after this Sunday, Advent starts. Therefore, the earliest date on which it can occur is November 2nd, and the latest date is November 26th. So this year, it's starting on the latest date. Traditional Catholics observe it on its original date, the last Sunday of October. The Anglican, Lutheran, and many other Protestant churches adopted it along with the Revised Common Lectionary, occasionally referring to it as Christ the King Sunday. It is also observed on the same computed date as the final day of the ecclesiastical year, the Sunday before the first Sunday of Advent, by Western Rite parishes of the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia. Roman Catholics adhering to extraordinary form of the Roman Rite as permitted under the motu proprio used the general Roman calendar of 1960, and as such continued to observe the solemnity on its original date of the final Sunday of October. Origin and history in the Roman Catholic Church. Pope Pius XI instituted the Feast of Christ the King in his letter Quas Primus, Quas, Q-U-A-S, or Primas, P-R-I-M-A-S, I guess it's Latin, of 1925 in response to growing secularism and in the context of unresolved Roman question. According to Cyril of Alexander, Christ has dominion over all creatures by essence and by nature. His kingship is founded upon the hypostic union. The Word of God with the Father has all things in common with him, and therefore has necessarily supreme and absolute dominion over all things created. From this it follows that to Christ angels and men are subject. Christ is also king by acquired as well as by natural right, for he is our Redeemer. We are no longer our own property, for Christ has purchased us with a great price. Our very bodies are the members of Christ. A third ground sovereignty is that God bestowed upon Christ the nations of the world as his special possession and dominion. This is a quote. All power in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Matthew 28:18. The feast has a dimension pointing to the end of time, when the kingdom of Jesus will be established in all its fullness to the ends of the earth. It also leads into Advent, when the church commemorates the arrival of the newborn king. And of course, it goes on to describe what types of churches and where they are located observe this holiday, the significance of it for the laity. So I guess that means other people who are not necessarily like lay people who are not necessarily religious, and where it is on the calendar. So I'm going to go on to St. Andrew. And this again is from www.catholic.org. St. Andrew, also known as Andrew the Apostle, was a Christian apostle and the older brother to St. Peter. According to the New Testament, Andrew was born in the village of Bethsaida, Bethsaida, on the Sea of Galilee during the early 1st century. Much like his younger brother, Simon Peter, Andrew was also a fisherman. Andrew's very name means strong, and he was known for having good social skills. In the Gospel of Matthew, it is said that Jesus was walking along the shore of the Sea of Galilee and saw Andrew and Simon Peter fishing. It is then he asked the two to become disciples and quote unquote fishers of men. In the Gospel of Luke, Andrew is not initially named. It described Jesus as bringing a boat believed to be solely Simon's to preach to the multitudes and to catch a large amount of fish on a night that was originally dry. Later, in Luke 5:7, it mentions Simon was not the only fisherman on the boat, but it is not until Luke 6:14 that there is talk of Andrew being Simon Peter's brother. However, the Gospel of John tells a separate story, stating Andrew was a disciple of John the Baptist. When Jesus walked by one day, John the Baptist stated, quote, "Behold, the Lamb of God," end quote. It is then that Andrew and another made the decision to follow Jesus. Little else is said about Andrew in the Gospels, but it is believed Andrew was one of the closer disciples to Jesus. It was he who told Jesus about the boy with the loaves and fishes, according to John 6:8. When Philip wanted to speak to Jesus about Greeks seeking him, he spoke to Andrew first. Andrew was also present at the Last Supper. Per Christian tradition, Andrew went on to preach the good news around the shores of the Black Sea and throughout what is now known as Greece and Turkey. Andrew was martyred by crucifixion in Patras, Patras. He was bound rather than nailed to a cross, as is described in Acts of Andrew. He was crucified on a cross form known as crux, C-R-U-X, Decsata, D-E-C, Decussata, D-E-C-U-S-S-A-T-A, which is an X-shaped cross, also known as a saltire, S-A-L-T-I-R-E. Today, this is commonly referred to as St. Andrew's cross. It is believed Andrew requested to be crucified this way because he deemed himself unworthy to be crucified on the same type of cross as Jesus. Andrew's remains were originally preserved at Patras. However, some believe that St. Regulus, who was a monk at Patras, received a vision telling him to hide some of Andrew's bones. Shortly after Regulus's dream, many of Andrew's relics were transferred to Constantinople by order of Roman Emperor Constantius II in the year around 357. Regulus later received orders in a second dream telling him to take the bones to the ends of the earth. He was to build a shrine for them wherever he was shipwrecked. He landed on the coast of Fife, F-I-F-E, in Scotland in September 1964. There's a lot of 11s in here too, by the way. I haven't been mentioning them, but it was like Luke 6:14, which is 1964, which is 6:14 transposed, and another 11, of course. There was Pope the 11th. Now I'm going to Pope Paul the 6th had all of St. Andrew's relics that ended up in Vatican City sent back to Patras. Now, many of Andrew's relics and the cross on which he was martyred are kept in the Church of St. Andrew in Patras. St. Andrew is venerated in Georgia as the first preacher of Christianity in that territory, and in Cyprus for having struck the rocks, creating a gush of healing waters upon landing on the shore. His saltire, his cross, is featured on the flag of Scotland and is represented in much of his iconography. He is commonly portrayed as an old man with a long white-haired beard and long white hair and a beard, often holding the gospel book or a scroll. St. Andrew is the patron saint of fishermen and singers. He is also the patron saint to several countries and cities, including Scotland, Romania, Russia, the Ukraine, and Patras. And his feast day is celebrated on November 30th. So with that, what else is going on this week? The last day for which this reading will be the final day before Mercury retrograde begins on the 3rd. Next Sunday, I'll be talking about that again. So with that, I'll just go to the sky this week, beginning with today, Sunday, November 26th. The first quarter moon occurs at 12:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As darkness descends across the northern hemisphere this evening, observers will find the half-lit moon due south and nearly halfway from the horizon to the zenith. Our satellite spends the night in the constellation Aquarius, the water bearer. Something else was going on with Aquarius this week. Right? Or was it? Oh, no, I'm thinking about, well, I guess the Uranus retrograde, but I was thinking about Neptune and Pisces. Never mind. Monday, the 27th. Mars stands out in the eastern sky before dawn this week. The magnitude 1.7 red planet rises more than 3 hours before the sun and appears 20 degrees as twilight starts to paint the sky. It resides among the background stars of Virgo, and this morning it passes 3 degrees due north of the Maiden's brightest star, first magnitude Spica. Notice the stark color contrast between the orange-red planet and the blue-white star. Unfortunately, the view through a telescope proves disappointing. Mars spans just 4 inches and shows no detail. I had a feeling Mars was going to be doing something because when I was shuffled to that darn 5 of fire twice, and I said, this feels like Mars. Anywho, Tuesday, November 28th. After the sun sets this evening, look low in the southwest for Mercury. For observers at 35 degrees north latitude, the innermost planet lies 7 degrees above the horizon 30 minutes after sundown. Binoculars will help you to find the magnitude -0.2 object in the twilight glow. Binoculars will also reveal the fainter glow of magnitude 0.5 Saturn, just 3 degrees to Mercury's upper right. Wednesday, November 29th. The second brightest asteroid of 2017 puts on a nice show during November. Minor planet 7, Iris, rides high in the evening sky among the background stars of Aries, the Ram. That could be another reason why the 5 of fire showed up. It glows at a magnitude of 7.7 and should be relatively easy to spot through binoculars, even from the suburbs. This evening, you can locate Iris 0.5 degrees due east of the magnitude 5.9 star Aries-tis, Aries-tis. Thursday, November 30th. The variable star Algol in Perseus reaches minimum brightness at 9:27 p.m. That's 9 or 9. This is Eastern Standard Time, of course. It shines at that time at a magnitude of 3.4. If you start watching it after darkness falls this evening, you can see it more than triple in brightness to a magnitude of 2.1. Over the course of a few hours, this happens. This eclipsing binary star runs through a cycle from minimum to maximum and then back again every 2.87 days. Algol appears high in the northeastern sky after sunset and passes nearly overhead around 10:30 p.m. local time. Algol can guide you to one of the finest binocular star clusters in the late autumn sky just after darkness falls. Target the variable star through binoculars and place it at the bottom of your field of view. At the top of the field, you should see a hazy patch of light roughly the size of the full moon. This is M34. Now I'm wondering if you heard all the 7s that I mentioned here. There was something about 7.7 having to do with Mercury. And then in this one, I read about 3.4. Something was 3.4. Yes, Algol, Perseus, is going to be shining at 9:27 or 9:9 at a magnitude of 3.4. That was one of them. And now this is M34, a collection of roughly 100 stars near Perseus's border with Andromeda. So that was about 4 7s. Through 10 by 50 binoculars, M34's brightest stars appear to twinkle against the unresolved glow of the cluster's fainter members. Friday, December 1st, Uranus reached opposition more than a month ago, but it remains a tempting target. The outer planet appears in the southeast after darkness falls and climbs highest in the south around 9 p.m. local time. The magnitude 5.7 world lies in southeastern Pisces, 3.2 degrees west of the 4th magnitude star Omicron Piscium. Although Uranus shines brightly enough to glimpse with a naked eye under a dark sky, binoculars make the task much easier. A telescope reveals the planet's blue-green disk, which spans 3.7 inches. And Saturday, December 2nd. Head outside before dawn and you'll find Jupiter blazing low in the southeast. The giant planet rises 2.5 hours before the sun and climbs 15 degrees high an hour before sunup. Jupiter shines at a magnitude of -1.7, which makes it the brightest point of light in the sky, and it now resides among the much dimmer stars of the constellation Libra. A telescope reveals the planet's 31-inch diameter disk. And lastly, I got to mention this one, even though it falls into next week's reading, Sunday, December 3rd, the full moon officially arrives at 10:47, 111 Eastern Standard Time, though it will look completely illuminated all night among the background stars of Taurus the Bull. The full moon rises close to sunset and appears highest in the south around midnight local time, and it sets as the sun comes up. Our satellite reaches full phase just 17 hours before its closest approach to Earth during its monthly orbit. The coincidence between these two events makes this the largest full moon of 2017, and you can expect to hear the phrase, quote unquote, supermoon used to describe it. Just how special is it? The full moon spans 33.4,7%. So there's two more sevens, larger than average. Most people won't notice that small of a difference, but you can bet a lot of them will head out this evening, see the bright moon hanging low above the horizon, and be amazed at its size. But this is an illusion. Viewing the moon near familiar foreground objects tricks the mind into thinking it looks bigger. And that's it from the sky this week, www.astronomy.com. So with that, I'll go into the dice. I didn't have the dice ready. There they are. They're ready now. Okay, so also in that moment, I was like, oh, I didn't like connect it. I wonder if the viewers connected it. Okay, so in the beginning, I said December 3rd was the first day of Mercury retrograde. And just now I said that December 3rd is the full moon. Yes, both of those events are happening on the same day. Not only that, the full moon is in Gemini. It's a Gemini full moon, and Mercury ruled Gemini. So this should be very exciting. I have a feeling people are going to get tripped up in their words. There may be some liars busted and stuff like that, because Mercury is all about communication. Gemini is all about spitting out, blurting out the truth, even if it's harsh and hurtful. And that just came over me. So I'll try to focus on it and see what else I get in time for my full moon reading. I'm beginning with the dice, which stay in bed. Spend money. And it's 50-50. Ooh. Spirit says sex, eat cake, and it's still 50-50. I think this is about give and take. I think this is about like the Six of Pentacles. And didn't I just read that full moon was going to be like, yes, it's a Gemini full moon, but didn't I just read it was going to be lingering around Taurus the Bull? That Six of Pentacles, at least for me, especially the one in the Angel Tarot, definitely represents Venus, and which is not only a ruler of Gemini, but also a ruler of Taurus, or the ruler of Taurus, and Libra, which I also mentioned. Jupiter was hanging around Libra in what I read just now. But I'm thinking this 50-50 is connected to that Taurian energy. And maybe even the Gemini energy, like both, like Gemini twin, 50-50, half, two pieces, right? To a pair or whatever to make a whole. And also the give and take of the Six of Pentacles, which again represents Venus and or Taurus and Libra for me. Okay. With that, we're beginning with the Star, and look what just happened. They wanted me to see, or us to see, the Two of Fire as well. So that's pretty awesome. It's right here behind the Star. And they're showing me, not immediately behind that, but they're also showing me the Ten of Fire, which may make the Two of Fire possible, is here. Too much work. Accept help from others. Life is out of balance. That creates stress-related health concerns. And if maybe an end to this, and look at this moon here, this big full moon here, maybe an end to all our woes and extra stresses and, you know, people busting our balls and perhaps fire signs being particularly stressful or stressed, depending on what end of that you might fall. When that ends, because it will, it's a 10, the 2 of fire happens. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. And that may, in fact, be your wish coming true. Perhaps, you know, a la Uranus. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. Opening to the Page of Water, who's intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Also, you may have heightened psychic abilities. The Page of Water is intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. And he is a Pisces, perhaps. A Scorpio or Cancer. I paused for a second because for a second, it was coming in like what I just read about Pisces too. The star represents the sign of Aquarius, or perhaps other air sign, Gemini, Libra. The star and the 2 of water. I saw this a couple of times as I was shuffling too, like the 2 of water opposite the 5 of fire. And I'm going, oh no, there's going to be like people busting our balls. Maybe that's why that 10 showed up. In any case, this is an awesome card, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. So that the conflict may in fact be whatever that 5 of fire represents for you as an individual. And the end of it coming may be as a result of your dreams coming true, your wishes coming true, your prayers being answered. The star, and it's the King of Water, who is trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. Charity work for me is love. The King of Water is like the king of love and emotion, but not really in a watery sense, as I would imagine water. He, you know, like doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve. He has them, but you know, he shows them sometimes, but he doesn't necessarily like, you know, wave them around in front of you on a flag. He has his emotions in check. I'll put it that way. And we have the King of Water again showing up against the star. So he may represent a person that is not necessarily a male, could be male or female. And that person may in fact be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or somebody with those traits or attributes. And that person may also be your wish or dream come true, your prayer answered in the form of this person. And it might not be that they're showing you romantic love. It can be that they're just showing you love. That charity work, maybe they're making, you know, they're being generous towards you. It's 50-50. Like that 6 of Pentacles, give and receive sort of energy. Just gifts coming your way that you're not really sure why. And it's because of your karma bank, like things that you built up, you're being, you know, paid by the universe. I'll go one more. It's the moon. I should have known because I never get to do a reading. I mean, I'm happy about it. I'm not complaining, but I never get to do one that is the week of the moon, like my general, or the actual moon reading without the moon showing up. And this moon, this card does represent the sign of Pisces. So that may, again, be who the king and or Page of Water were. The moon here with Archangel Haniel is all about psychic insights and events behind the scenes. Release fears that hold you back. So this is things going on in the background that we may not know about. These are things done in the dark sometimes. Secrets. Remember I said I felt like liars might be busted. That this could be what this is about. Things coming to light. Things that are hidden. Things that are shady being done. And maybe some of them will come forth to us. Perhaps in answer again to our prayers or wishes. The star, I'm gonna cut. Nice. What are they showing us here? Strength, represents the sign of Leo. That may be who this Ace of Fire is. They may be a Leo or the fire sign. Sagittarius, Aries. I told you I saw that Aries or Mars energy before. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. The Ace of Fire is all about a brand new opportunity for you that is like huge because it's something about which you are so passionate, or someone about which you are so passionate, or a combination of both. You're happy about this opportunity. And there's another moon here. So maybe the moon that's bringing this thing about for you. Overall energy is going to be the 6 of Fire. Victory. Good news is on its way. Also, public recognition or awards. Speaking of awards, my most recent degree showed up in the mail yesterday. I now have multiple degrees in science. I just thought to myself that the people that try to bring negativity to my channel and give me a hard time, like they act as if I have to be doing this. I've said many times before, I don't. I was called to do it. Called to do it. It's not something that I said, oh, I can probably make some money reading cards because I can't do much else, I'm not capable of things. I don't have any passions or whatever. That is not the case. I've got degrees in science, more than one. Masculine this week, strength. So we just looked at this. It is back. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise some forgiveness and compassion. The strength card may represent a Leo in your life. Maybe you. Maybe the masculine's energy in general. He's ready to, maybe this is because something comes out too for some, again, with what's being revealed, and he's ready to face those fears and to seek forgiveness and compassion and extend it too. It goes both ways. It's 50-50. I think that might be a theme for this week. See? It's an all's well that ends well. The 10 of Water, a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, and you have trustworthy relationships. Masculine subconscious, that 10 of Fire is back. Too much work. Accept help from others. Life is out of balance, and that leads to stress-related health concerns. So he releases this. He has the strength to release it and to face whatever it is he has to face. If he's been harboring something, holding on to something that is stressful, that's running his blood pressure up, he's got to let it go, and he'll be able to. Feminine, 4 of Water, missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. We are surrounded by the 2 of Earth. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. This can be imbalanced too, and that may be why we're feeling sort of melancholy or bored and unimpressed, over it, closed-minded. All of those can come with this. Feminine subconscious, however, the 2 of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. How awesome is it that these two cards that are mirroring each other, the 2 of Water and strength, are both about forgiveness and compassion. So like we're on the same page. However, crowning and sitting right between us is the 5 of Earth. Fears surrounding money. The wisdom to accept help from others. Maybe uncertain self-employment. So this can be about feeling lack. It can also be in a more positive light, like before we get down on ourselves like that, we listen to somebody who may have some better financial advice, maybe about a decision that, we need to make. Maybe that's the opportunity that we don't want to miss. There's an important decision, maybe to enter some sort of partnership. This Two of Water can, for some of us, be representing, you know, a business partnership too, or something that's going to be lucrative, something that's going to be abundant. However, a romantic relationship can be those things too. It can be abundant in love. Again, Venus, the planet and goddess, represents both love and money. All abundance. And I did see the Empress quite a few times too. At the root here. Oh, it's another 11. We got an 11 here. We got an 11 here. It is renewal with Archangel Jeremiel. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Renewal, for me, represents the planet Pluto. And is the judgment card in the traditional tarot. As it relates to work, maybe in having to make a decision, we got these two twos crossing each other, or two 11s. And we got them sitting next to each other too, and one underneath the other as well. As it relates to work, judgment can be about the fact that you are about to be made abundant. Like the boss is going to offer you something, a raise, a bonus, you know, and a new opportunity. And you've been doing well, and that's why you've earned it. This isn't like a freebie, but you got to keep on top of it. Like, don't slack off now. As it relates to relationships, not just romantic, but certainly romantic included. It's about having reached a crossroad, and it's like a make or break moment. It's time for us to decide, where do we go from here? And we certainly don't want to miss the opportunity for that. So if you have that decision to make, feminine, that's an important one. You're going to want to think on that and make that decision wisely, without fear. If there's fear here, let it go, and instead, you know, take the help from others. Have the wisdom to accept help, including advice, that you want to carefully consider your options from others. Here at the heart of the matter, Queen of Air. You can take advice from a Queen of Air. She knows when it's time to, you know when to hold them and know when to fold them. She's pretty good at that. She is independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. She also might be Venus in this case, in this reading. She may be Mercury as well in this reading. Objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is an Aquarius, like the star with which I started, a Gemini or a Libra, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes, including the ability to cut something out of their life that doesn't serve them, like the 10 of Fire, or like the 4 of Water. Even like the 5 of Earth, which represents, again, like fear and negative thoughts, doubt, and lack of confidence, lack of esteem. Just something, it's just lack. It's just lack, period. So let's see. The next card here is upright already. So let's try to do a little bit of clarifying with this deck before moving on to the next one. Let's see what the major focus of the 4 of Water is. Like 3 of Water. A celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. So yeah, there can be an opportunity to take something, some sort of job, some sort of promotion, a bonus, a raise, to earn something else. There can be an opportunity to heal a relationship. And that would be cause for celebration. You don't want to miss that. You want to take an opportunity to be more social too. If somebody invites you out, you got to make that decision. Should I go, or should I be lame? Consider it carefully, but you may want to go. You may want to be more social. And the next one is upright also. Let's use it for the 5 of Earth. What is that about? The Knight of Fire, who is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. So again, you have a decision to make, and I keep saying you want to consider carefully what you do. But with this showing up, it may be a little bit more expedient, the need to decide. And we have the Knight of Fire sitting here next to Strength. The Knight of Fire may be, again, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. And he may have to abruptly make this decision, but you want to put some thought into it first. Let's use one more for that one. It could have very well something to do with money or, again, a relationship. This is ego or the devil with Archangel Jophiel, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things and negative or fear-based thoughts. So again, the 5 of earth is in fact negative or fear-based thoughts, and they may be about money. That could be what the lack is. Or there can be lack in a relationship and you're feeling trapped. I'm feeling stuck in this relationship. I want to leave it, but should I? Should I cut this person off? Queen of Air style. Should I cut off my negative emotions and my fear and move on, you know, with or without this person, in a more jovial energy and celebratory? All of those can come with these 2 cards, this combination, but it'll come up quick. All right, so I'm going to go on to the Animal Tarot now, beginning with the Prince of Summer. Romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting is the Prince of Summer. Like the King and the Page you already seen from the other deck, he is a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such a whirlwind encounter. So stay balanced. Isn't this funny? I said the 2 of earth can be about balance. And make decisions, yeah, with both your heart and your intellect. Your heart and your intellect. Wow, we've got our second 10 of water, 10 of summer. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy, balanced children. Prince of Summer, and it's the High Priestess with another moon here. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. The High Priestess, for me, she may be a water sign, but she's more likely a Gemini, as is the real High Priestess. We got another 2 here, or 11. That's like 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Prince of Summer. I'm going to cut. And it's the 3 of Autumn, which for me is very much like Judgment as it relates to work. It's about earned income, right? Again, those bonuses and promotions and transfers to a better location and all those things that you actually earned, but don't slack off because the boss is watching you right now to give it to you. As it relates to other things, it can be a party of 3 of some sort, right? 3 energies, possibly 3 people, perhaps even a love triangle, maybe involving an earth sign, but it doesn't have to be. Your most satisfying and profitable career comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out into the world. This is like releasing your ex here. The overall energy is the dreamer, the fool, shepherd puppy. You are starting a new adventure. Run free and take a leap of faith. Yeah, so this is about, beginning upon a brand new path. You've never walked this path before. And that's okay. You've let go of that fear. Maybe that is indeed what you cut off. You took the Queen of Swords sword and you cut that 5 of earth away. You cut that devil away and you broke the chains on yourself, right? Took the shackles off your own feet so that you could leave. You could, take a leap. Atop strength is the 10 of spring. So we have a 10 of spring here. We got a 10 of spring here. You're working far too hard and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and to enjoy life. Maybe to be more social. 3 of water style. But like I said, we're going to have to release this strength, you know, cut it away from our lives, cut it out of our lives, release this negativity, rather, the stress. And we're going to have the strength to do it. That's what I was saying before. The masculine is surrounded by the Queen of Winter. So we have the Queen of Winter sitting here next to the Queen of Winter. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. Even if those people are family members, is what I'm getting. Or close friends. Maybe we've come to the end of the road. Atop this 10 of fire, or 10 of spring, is balance or temperance, which does represent the sign of Sagittarius, so more fire in the traditional tarot. By merging varying points of view, you can generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. It's 50-50. Atop the 3 of water and the 4 of water equals the 7 of water is the 7 of water. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision. I love how they reconfirm everything so that we're sure about what our next steps are. Okay, we knew we had to make a decision. Yeah, we absolutely do here. And you're making that decision so that you can move forward with a priority. Remember, we don't have much time to waste. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation. Just listen to your heart, okay? That's how you're going to make your decision. Here, atop the 2 of earth is another star. You are about to take a big leap forward. Just like this suggests, the Fool or the Dreamer, so what's underneath it. Upright is another 3 of summer, so another 3 of water. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. So again, atop this 2 of earth, we're taking a leap yet again. You're about to take this big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism. So the 2 of earth can absolutely be about imbalance, worry. I don't know how to make this decision. I'm trying to do too many things at once. I got two jobs. I'm working myself, to death. I got no time for play. It can be all of those things, but this is saying that there's going to be an end to that this week. Worry is going to be replaced with optimism. Here's also worry crossing this 2 of earth. Remember the 5 of earth was here. That's more worry. That's out of here. Fear is going to be replaced with hope, and joy is going to be coming home to roost. And it's funny, I mentioned Malcolm X tonight too, and he was famous for that quote about chickens always coming home to roost. Here atop the 2 of water is the 8 of autumn. If we earned it. We earned this partnership, this relationship. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school. Okay, maybe we earned it through life experience. But this can also have to do with school. Maybe some sort of partnership having to do with school. Taking a seminar or conducting research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. It will bring you relationship or partnership advancement as well, with all these 2s here and this sitting here atop the 2 of water. If you do your best work, put your best foot forward, make the effort. Crowning atop what began as this 5 of earth is more earth. It's the Hermit. This is about going within. So maybe that's how we get to all of these other things. You got to figure out for you how to release your own fear. You got to figure out for you how to be more confident, and stronger. Use this strength in your own skin and all that kind of stuff. You got to teach yourself and learn from yourself those lessons. Nobody can do that for you. The Hermit represents the sign of Virgo, or perhaps other earth sign, Capricorn, like the devil, which is up here, or Taurus, where the full moon will be. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment as well. At the root here, atop renewal or judgment, it's that 5 of spring. So remember I said as I was shuffling, I saw the 5 of spring opposite a couple of times, the 2 of water, and I figured it was going to be trying to get in the way of relationships. So now it's here opposite, or not opposite, atop another 2, renewal or judgment. Where you're trying to work on a relationship, there may be some friction. There may be somebody still who's trying to stick their nose where it belongs, or some sort of negative energy. But all of this major arcana card, all these major arcana cards we have here, Strength, the Hermit, the Star, Temperance, Judgment, carry a lot more weight than this 5 of spring. They totally trump this 5 of spring. So we don't have to let this, defeat us. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. If you come into conflict with someone with whom you have a relationship, romantic or otherwise, it's going to be friends too. Again, there's indication that there are some people, even possibly friends or family, that we need to cut off with this crossing the Queen of Winter, which sits atop the 10 of water. We could absolutely have to do that with these 2 cards, crossing these 2 cards. Cut off some friends and or family, especially since it's sitting under yet another Queen of Air, which is at the heart of our matter. But where you're feeling sort of conflicted, that may be where you want to take careful consideration. Where you're not sure what to do, go within. Don't just, rush to judgment, right? Put some consideration into it. If you need to do more research, do that too. And here's more Strength, sitting here atop the Queen of Air. And notice like this little cluster that these cards, all the same cards duplicating themselves. They're all in the same area here. For the most part, for the masculine, but sort of like trying to move their way over toward the feminine too. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. And so you have the strength to, pull those who you love close to you, and to be honest with them about that. Let them know how you feel. Don't miss an opportunity. If you have an opportunity to reach out and show somebody love, but at the same time, if you need to cut somebody off, you have the strength to do that too this week. If you have the need to enter a partnership, you've earned it. Let go of you got to cut off the fear. You got the strength to do that too, and face the world and go after your partnership. Take that leap of faith, that's about your passions. You are victorious this week. At the end of the day, you're victorious this week in your leap of faith if you follow your heart and your intellect. If you go against yourself, then you'll be conflicted. That's the major message. So with that, here's our advice. And I was moved to seek additional advice from Archangel Michael this week. Perhaps because of St. Andrew and Christ the King. That's why I just kept hearing use Michael's too. So here we are. I'm beginning with God is in charge. Dear God, please help me to let go of this situation, giving it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and to heal everything and everyone involved. And for some reason, it sounds like this card is really perfect for these cards here. Again, whether you're trying to pull a relationship together or to let one go and end one, a relationship, a partnership, romantic, otherwise. we needed to hear this. And decide to be happy now. This fits too. Thank you for helping me to open my heart to happiness, joy, and bliss. I'm now willing to see all of the goodness in my life. Right, that may be what the Hermit is for. God is in charge. And pay attention to your dreams. Thank you for tucking me into bed tonight and helping me to enjoy a wonderfully restful sleep. Archangel Michael, I invite you into my dreams as my teacher. Also, the Hermit could be a teacher. My teacher, my guide, and my healer. Please allow me to understand this. And you can enter a specific situation here. It may be whatever this is. Help me to understand it on a spiritual level and give me some guidance, right? The wisdom to seek help from others. God is in charge. And honor and trust your feelings. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for supporting, guiding, and protecting me as I listen and act upon my feelings. Help me understand and express my emotions with love. So I just talked about that too. And following your feelings, listening to your feelings and your heart, your intuition, your mind, your research, and not necessarily anyone else's. But unless you're being guided to, again, use the wisdom to accept help from others. That's a different story. And forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. I ask that you help me to let go of self-blame. That can definitely be what this Five of Earth is. Sitting here attached to the devil. Help me to let go of that and to forgive myself. Please guide me in releasing any toxic anger or fear toward others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for allowing me to feel centered and at peace, to feel balanced, right? Temperance, Two of Pentacles. Help me to get my zen back, to de-stress before I, raise my blood pressure up and I become ill over something that could have been resolved with a little compassion and forgiveness. And the overall energy is shield yourself. Archangel Michael, I ask you to protect me, my loved ones, my vehicle, and my home with your powerful shield. Surround us in your purple light, which allows only pure love to penetrate. Please stay with me day and night and keep my loved ones safe. And if you want to name specific people or situations, please feel free to do so. And with that, for the masculine, Archangel Michael has to say to you, be gentle with yourself. Archangel Michael, please guide me in treating myself with gentle, nurturing love in everything I think, speak, and do. And again, masculine, you have the strength to do that. Not only do you have the strength, you are specifically guided to do that. You've got 2 Ten of Wands cards here. That means, major stressors. You've got 2 Queen of Winters sitting here to help you to cut that stuff off. You've got 2 Strength cards here, helping you to face your fears and any other difficulties in your life and de-stress. Okay, now you've got Archangel Michael too. Help me to know that I deserve this compassion. I release any feelings of guilt to you so that I may experience lasting inner peace. To the feminine, energy healing work. Thank you for sending healing energy to me and through me for my own blessings and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. So this can be guiding some of us if we are able to work on our own healing. And if we are not, I think it's moving us again to seek high integrity healers who can help us. And either is fine. To the masculine, it's the Emperor. Some more Mars. Started talking about Mars. We're ending on a note of Mars, it would seem. Represents the sign of Aries. Can also represent Scorpio with all this water too. With Mars being a ruler of Scorpio. Mars, the male god and planet of, or masculine god and planet of love. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer, masculine. Uh-oh. This is an oh woe is me card. The 5 of Summer. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move forward and upward. So this may be attached to, again, that melancholy feeling, because we're progressing up. We're progressing up from melancholy and bored to oh woe is me. So we want to make it up to that 6 of Summer or Water, where we're feeling nostalgic and happy and loving and maybe even focused on our soulmate. So be conscious of this, because again, all this major arcana trumps energy like that of being doubtful and unimpressed. Masculine, you've got your 2nd High Priestess card as well. It's Archangel Haniel yet again. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. But I hope that what you will want is to release whatever it is that is causing you this stress, masculine, because it is bothering me that you have it twice over here. And lastly, feminine. Oh boy, we got 2 5 of Waters. On the bright side, it equals a 10 of water. And maybe it mirrors the masculine's 10 of water that's under here, underneath this Queen of Winter, perhaps. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. And you're not seeing the positive in a situation. Instead, you're crying over spilled milk. So this is about counting our blessings, right? We're not seeing that we have these 2 beautiful cups still standing here, even if we've lost these 3. Let these 3 go and recognize that you have these 2. And that's the same thing that this one is saying. Focus upon the fact that God loves you. So focus upon whatever it is he has bestowed you with, and appreciate that and recognize that. Not just, oh, woe is me, I don't have anything, I lost 3 cups. Once you see these for what they are, realize that you have them, you can manifest them in a more tangible way, like this. I hope that you guys enjoyed this week's general weekly reading. I will be back with love, and then subsequently at some point, but hopefully not much longer after, the full moon and Gemini reading. Namaste, angels.